Hello, this is One Mana Left. We're 2 weeks into Necropolis League, and I've been playing Mjolner Archmage. I've been using Lightning Conduit of the Heavens. Right now, this setup has about 16 mil DPS. And this is around as far as I'm going to take the build because I plan after this video to reroll Mana Forged Arrows. But I'm going to go over this setup, which is a very, very good mapping setup with Lightning Warp. I'm going to show a single target swap for Ball Lightning of Orbiting. I was kind of wrong in this gem on the preseason analysis because I didn't really realize how much more damage it did single target. But it's deceivingly good single target damage. I'll show off a little bit in the Delve Boss demo here. And then I'm going to show a Squire swap because this shield's only 3.5 divines right now. So the Conduit of the Heavens setup right now with Prism Guardian is about 16 mil. The Ball Lightning swap's about 35. And then the Squire swap, it's about 70 mil. So I'll show off all three of those setups here. I could take this further. I could add in crit jewels and be like 150 mil. I could add in some like crit multi-adorn jewels, mage blood. I could add righteous fire. I could get this up to 500 million. But this will probably be the last time I play Mjolnir until I come back later in the league to play the 5 overlap Stormcall, which is I think like the apex build of Mjolnir. But I'm going to show off a little bit here. And I'm going to do some tier 17s with this setup first, which is much lower damage. And I'm going to come back and maybe do a tier 17 later. Or, well, actually, yeah, whatever. So, I think this is the one with a really terrible layout. But it's the Expedition boss. So, how this works is, you cannot find the boss until you've full cleared like 5 times. So, ideally, you would just rush the boss and find it. But that's not how tier 17s work. It will take many, many, many minutes to find the boss. So this is pretty much going to be a full clear. Yeah. This is the Expedition boss, so it's got some multi-phasing. Yeah, this is going to be a full clear. Harbinger. I keep okay. I see the entryway. What did I get here? Okay. Well, I can see the boss entrance. I'm just not there yet. All right. Let's just skip the shrine. Let's just go in. All right. I'm gonna do Ball Lightning of Orbiting here. And this is a much better single. This is a much better single target than, you know, the Conduit of the Heavens. It's about double. So he's gonna summon some mini bosses that I have to kill while probably not dodging these lines. I think you're supposed to dodge the lines, but I'm probably just realistically not going to. I'll try to. I'll half-ass try to. Oh, shit. I'm reasonably tanky. I'm like 18k ES. You can get much higher, but... Okay, I don't know what like any of these bosses do, so... I think that's the last phase of this guy. You should be dead. Okay. So, that was a tier 17. Fortunately, I found the boss fairly fast and didn't run around for 5 minutes looking for it. But, I'm going to show the difference here now between Lightning Conduit of the Heavens Ball Lightning. So, based off POB, it should be about double. Let me show this setup right here. So, if you look at the DPS right now, I'm pretty sure every Ball Lightning's hitting. But if you look right now, I have it set up with Ball Lightning of Orbiting, and I have 36. With Conduit of the Heavens, I probably have a bigger shock than 35. I can get 50 shock on bosses. So Lightning Conduit of the Heavens is about 17 mil. So it's 17 versus 36. It was what, 36.8 versus 17.7. It's a little over double. I'll show that off here. So I'm going to do this all. And I'm going to do it with phase 1 is 50% health, and I will do it with Lightning Conduit of the Heavens, and you can see how long it takes. Phase 2, I will switch to Ball Lightning of Orbiting, and you will see the difference. Then the fun part is I have an Ahwatalti here that has plus 40 all-res, so he's going to be a little tankier even, and I'm going to swap to Squire for him and show some damage difference. So you'll get the evolution chart from monkey to human here. You'll get bad single target skill, good single target skill, good single target skill with Squire, and each iteration will double the DPS. So this should be a good show off here. Maybe I'll actually get some good loot. Haven't had the best luck on alls this league, but it seems like I get slightly better loot when I'm looking for a video clip or whatever. One thing to note, with delve bosses, you can use dynamite to do damage. For the legitimacy of this comparison, I am not going to use dynamite. So I will do neither of the two phases with dynamite. I will just do pure lightning conduit of the heavens, then I will switch to ball lightning, and then I will do, you know, 0 dynamite kill. But this phase 1 with lightning conduit is going to take a little while. It's gonna take like 3 phases. I can already feel the difference from the last one I did. Do I even one cloak? Well, I'm not going to cloak again, but... Alright. Get a good idea for how long these phases take. So show some MLG delve skill here. You can't hit me, I'm too fast. I'm not going to phase him here, for sure. I will for sure get another phase here. I might phase him after that, but if I might even get 2 more intermissions. No, I'll get 1 more. I'll phase him the next intermission. Yeah, I should phase him next one, but it'll be close. Oh, he's got frenzy charges. I'm like, why were those faster? He doesn't have turbo. He's got frenzy charge. I should phase him here, but it's going to be a little close. I should barely phase him here. Yeah, there it is. Alright. Get an idea for how fast that was. And remember, P2, I'm going to use Ball Lightning of Orbiting, and I'm not going to use any Dynamite. And watch the difference in HP. So in the Before League video, I did a bit of a skill analysis, just feeling the Mountain Canyon. I did not like the feel of Ball Lightning of Orbiting, so I kind of rated it low. Here's where I was wrong. I had the understanding that Ball Lightning of Orbiting was like a clear speed skill because it spiraled outwards and moved faster. So I always pictured like regular Ball Lightning was a single target skill and Orbiting was the clear skill. Absolutely 180 degrees backwards. It is not the case. Orbiting is so good for single. Watch this. You can reliably get all 13 hits. Alright, look at the difference in single already. Look how much faster he's chunking. We're not going to get intermission here. Look at the HP bar just zooming. He's dead. Look at that difference. POB says it's 2.1 times. It feels like about triple. Oh, he's not going to give me loot. But okay. That's pretty good. But what if we crank this higher? Let's go higher. So I have to run to my hideout to switch a socket color for the Squire swap. But I'm going to swap to Squire real quick here. So, I'm going to put on Squire. That part is pretty simple. The Squire itself is really cheap. The real only difference is the fact that you need a little more res. So I'm doing 2 swaps here to a helical and a different jewel just to solve my res. That should pretty much be it. Then I'm going to swap my gems around. I'm going to move Discipline here instead of Sigil. And then Cast and Damage Taken is going to get replaced by... There's a Dread Banner in my inventory somewhere, but it's actually going to be... Okay. So hopefully my reservation here is correct. Oh, beautiful. Okay. But now my Shaper's Touch are off. Because I need to switch those. Okay, I have some inventory issues right now. This is poor preparation. I need to switch these to have 1 red, 3 red, 1 blue. Alright, so now I'm going to move the Wrath here. I'm going to do Blessing here. Battle Mage Cry, Call to Arms, and Blessing. So now I should have a lot more damage. Res look good. Res looks good. ES and mana is about the same. Yep. So let's try this with Ball Lightning of Orbiting with the Squire setup. Now this boss has plus 40 all res. So you might think that this is going to be tankier. But I've once again doubled my damage. This is going to be pretty dang good single target. I'm using a level 1 Dread Banner. That's why you're seeing it leveling up instantly. The reason you go Dread Banner is for reservation convenience, because you have 35% with Discipline, then you have a flat amount with Clarity. You don't get the Prism Guardian Blood Magic anymore, so you just essentially get 50% mana to reserve, because Arrogance is a 2x multiplier. So the best way I find to reserve 50% mana is to not invest anything at all into auras, and to just accept that you're going to go 35, 10, that's 45, and then a flat amount with Clarity. And the reason Dread Banner is actually pretty good is because if you have 75 evasion, for example, and you might think, well, what's Dread Banner doing? A 20/20 Dread Banner with some Arrogance scaling ends up being like 8% increase evade chance because it lowers enemy accuracy and that scales with aura effect. So what without Dread Banner, what might be 75 evade chance is actually like 84%, which that might not sound like a big difference, but the difference between getting hit 25% of the time versus getting hit 16% of the time is you're like 56% tankier to attacks. So like for Delve and Mapping, this is really good. Considering it's a 10% aura, that's very good. It's obviously not as good as like if you could fit like a Purity or something like that, but it's a 10% aura and it takes no aura investment. So let's see what the single target feels like with Squire. This should fly. Takes about 2 seconds to get the balls out. Remember, this guy has 40 all res. And he's phased. It takes a second to, like, that's like probably faster than the all with plus 40 all res. This setup is 71 mil. And like I said, this is no crit jewel. Crit jewel, especially if you sprinkle in a little bit of multi on Adorn jewels, would get well over 100, probably 150 to 200. So if you're gonna do like if you're gonna try to push to like 1500 plus delve as Mjolnir, I think this is the play. I think for mapping, Ball Lightning is bad because you're killing stuff behind you. You're just teleporting around screen to screen so fast. I'll use a few Dynamite here just to go for like the speed burst. Curiosity? No curiosity. But like that's 71 mil DPS on a boss that has like 900 mil health with the all res mods, so it's like about 1.5 bill effective health. And the Squire setup is just with Ball Lightning, it's just too much damage. So I'm gonna do one last showcase here. I think the conduit setup is just always better for mapping, because being able to just teleport every 0.3 seconds and kill the entire screen instantly, when you're doing content where you can kill monsters in a single hit, you're never going to beat that speed with Ball Lightning. But for Delve even, when you're just going from node to node and you're kind of posting up in one controlled area and you just have like 20 balls out, it's just so much better damage that I think just for generic Delve, Ball Lightning of Orbiting is better. But I'll end on a Shaper. How about that? I'll do an Uber Shaper. I know Uber's changed a little bit this league. They don't have the same invites anymore now, so you need these tier 17 fragments to run them. But I'll do an Uber Shaper. I'll try to be face tanky and flex on him here. But yeah, it's a little bit harder to run Ubers this league with the changed bosses. So let's show off some Ubers. Some of them got buffed because they changed the Maven and the Cortex 50% damage reduction to 70 to match the others. I have Wrath on, right? Yeah, I do. I've got my 9 actions, or my 9 CDR and boots here. I've got exactly 4.31 attack speed with flasks up. So I'm right at the 9 CDR breakpoint of attack speed. That's about a 14% damage gain, assuming you had the max attack speed before. But typically you don't invest into any attack speed on the normal Mjolnir setup, so the boot swap to add then in a flask suffix for attack speed is usually somewhere like a 20% DPS gain. In my case, it was like a 26% gain. But yeah, the damage feels pretty high here. When I start this Shaper, he has a 90% extra damage reduction at the very start. Other than that, he'll die really fast. But I'll maybe try to get a pretty zoomy kill here on him. Alright, the rules. Let's pre-establish the rules. I must tank every slam, alright? I might have to compromise here. I might dodge clone balls. If there's like 3 clones and they're all shooting balls, I will elect to dodge some of them. But I will take every slam. How about that? Alright. Here we go. Ooh, nice Shaper slam, pal. Okay. Got the intermission phase here. Alright, now his damage reduction is gone, so we should die reasonably. I have tanked the slam. Oh, look at that phase damage. That's like a 2-second phase. That was like 80 to 50 in 2 seconds once the damage reduction is gone. I only, on the first opener, I only did like 100 to 80 in 2 or 3 seconds because then he teleported away. But when he just starts off, he's got this extra 90% damage reduction up. This is to prevent like the pre-throw trap people from one-shotting bosses. They added this years ago. But once he does that first like bullet hell, he loses that whole damage reduction, then he just dies instantly. 70 mil is a lot of damage for bosses. There's about 1 or 2 seconds of ramp up to it to get all the balls out. Oh, he's over here. But after that first 1 or 2 seconds of ramp, 70 mil is just going to melt most Ubers. I'm not going to level that right. No, I can't level that. I have to level the Dread Banner. The OCD will bother me too much. Alright, he's got a little bit of damage reduction. Oh, I had to tank the slam. That was a little bit of a sketchy spot. I didn't want to tank that slam, but... Alright. Alright, now he should die super fast. Tank slam. Easy peasy. Instant phase. Look at that. This is Uber Shaper. Sometimes people play mana builds for the first time and they have this idea that they're not tanky. And the truth is they aren't in low amounts of gear. But like I said, I wouldn't even call this high gear. Like, I have no Mage Blood, I have no crit jewels. I just slapped on a Squire, which is 3 divines now. 3.5. Yes, my gear's good. But this is not like Giga endgame gear with, you know, mirrors thrown at it. This is, to some people, I'm poverty right now. Even though I'm wearing like 150 div. But like, your average Juggernaut dodges an Uber Shaper Slam. A reasonably geared mana build does not. Ah. I screwed that up. Where'd he go? I have tank it. Oh, no. Balls. Okay, I got him. So there's Uber Shaper. See, I had to compromise beforehand that I was going to dodge some balls because I knew I was going to screw something up and have like 3 clones on me. So I dodged balls 2 times. But tanked every slam. But yeah, I mean, this is a good tank demonstration that once you get up to like 17k ES, Uber bosses don't really hit hard enough to scare you. You just get too much HP pool, too much recovery. I think the hardest Shaper Slam, what do you guys think? Hit me for 20%? Like, there's some tanky juggernauts that get one-tapped by the Shaper Slam. I've seen Quinn lose many a character to a Uber Shaper one-tap. And they hit me for about 20%. So, you know, when people come in and be like, oh, your armor's low, you died of... No, that's not how it works, child. That is not how endgame fizz damage works. This is a really tanky build. It's a good bosser. I could scale this much, much, much further, but this is where I'm at. I'll post the Squire POB down below. I'll post a POB that's got the Prism Guardian set up with Lightning Conduit of the Heavens and Ball Lightning of Orbiting. But this is my kind of 2-week benchmark before I re-roll Mana Forge tonight. So hopefully you guys are enjoying Mjolnir Archmage. And maybe some of you will take this even farther than me. Good luck.